Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast. Game Week 5 Premier League Roundup. I'm joined by Craig and Lenny, two United fans who love Ruben Amorim. And I'm sure they were delighted by the team's performance yesterday. So, let's just get straight into that game. United against Chelsea, 2-1 United. There was a lot of drama in this game, two red cards. Sanchez's red card was hilarious. Lenny and Craig, any thoughts?
Go on, Greg.
Go
I'll
first,
let
let
you
me.
go. Oh, I'll go first. Yeah, I thought we had a good start. To be honest, the one time we actually, when we go long, it actually came off for once. So Sesko with a flick onto Mbeumo, and Sanchez fly kicks Mbeumo. So yeah, I don't know, man. The thing is, he didn't even need to really come for it because they had players, they had two defenders, and even then, Mbeumo got the touch, and he wasn't. It wasn't like he was guaranteed to score. So
Yeah,
again, that's Sanchez for you, isn't it? Like he's been good the last few weeks, but he'll always pop up with a bozo moment. So
yeah. I
yeah,
think even Maresca said, didn't he? He said like, I'd rather go a goal down than lose a player. First 5 minutes. Just a bit
especially
stupid,
against
wasn't it?
us, 100%.
But yeah, I agree. I think we came straight out the blocks. I think we looked good. For first 5-10, and then obviously the red card. We capitalised on it, and then I don't agree with Casemiro's second yellow. I don't think that was fair.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty soft to be honest. I know obviously he grabbed him a bit, and then I think if he never won the ball and he took him up from behind, I could say yeah. But again,
Yeah,
it's just it's Casemiro, and he's got the reputation in the East where he's quite aggressive. He didn't need to be aggressive because I'm pretty sure I think he fouled Andre Santos, I think it was, and it was 1v3. He had no other option, so he didn't need to pull him or anything like that. But again, Casemiro, he has those moments for us. I think that's his fourth or fifth red card for us now. But
yeah,
yeah, it wasn't a bad performance, but then when we went to 10 men, I didn't really agree with the sub. I think Sesko coming off was a poor sub for Ugarte. I think we went long early in the game and it worked. And I think in the second half, especially with the amount of counterattacks we had, I think we could have 100% lumped it up to Sesko a few more times and he would have had six of that. I honestly think he would have scored if he stayed on the pitch. But
I think
yeah.
I think bringing
I
on
think. Sorry,
I
go
think
on,
bringing
Danny.
on you got to basically give Chelsea all the momentum. Second half, they were literally on top for most
yeah,
of the game, and they could have really won that. I think keeping Sesko on
definitely.
always gives you that threat to play up long, and I feel like Amorim should have done that this game instead of risking it and just bringing on Ugarte, who we know is not really great.
Even
Yeah,
Kobe, I think like if you're 2-0 up at half time, now you've both got 10 men. You wanna take control. You're at home. You wanna slow it down. You wanna take everything out of it by the 70th minute. They've got nothing going for them. And I think you bring on Kobe, he can control a game, he can slow it all down, but you bring on Ugarte and it's like you just give all the momentum to Chelsea. You give it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There's no control there. And then again, bringing on Ugarte and taking off Sesko, we were going long to Mbeumo and it just wasn't working. But again, don't want to be too negative. We got a win against a top six team. I'm not going to complain like that. So
yeah. Big three
yeah,
points. Big 3 points. Like you said there, Lenny, I think we don't do well inviting pressure on, sitting back. We just don't. We can't handle it. And like you said, I think the sub with Sesko was a poor decision, but we can't be too negative, can we? 3 points against a good team, Chelsea.
Is this something you guys take with a pinch of salt, or are you going to like say, okay, let's try build on this?
um, I I,
Well,
I
I
mean
think our next two fixtures are 100% winnable.
I mean,
definitely.
Um,
your
I think it's
your next game
Brentford
is
and
Brentford
Sunderland.
at half 12,
Brentford,
which
Sunderland.
yeah,
again
Yeah,
is really winnable.
and then we've got Sunderland, is it?
yeah, Sunderland.
Brentford, Sunderland, and then Liverpool.
International break, and then I think Liverpool after the break.
Liverpool, yeah.
I think yeah.
So again, if you come in two of them three, I guess Liverpool, Anfield, you're not really going to get anything. But Brentford and Sunderland, two really winnable games. That's looking good for Amorim. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, we could definitely build on it. I
Yeah,
mean, look,
yeah,
Chelsea are a good side, mate. They've just won the Club World Cup. I think were they unbeaten in the Premier League this season so far?
Yeah, this
yeah.
was
They
their
hadn't
first one.
lost. Yeah,
Yeah.
they hadn't lost yet.
So
I mean, were there any standout performers for United?
I thought Mazraoui was excellent.
Yeah,
Delict.
Really, really good. The lick too, and he had a weird game, but Dorgu's such a weird player. Like he does like he would do something good. He'll have like really good moments in the match, and then he'll just do something like just League Two level. He's he's a young player, and I'm guessing he's not a winger, and that's what the issue is. He's a fullback who has had to play 4 or 5 different positions for Lecce. I think he come from in Italy,
Yeah,
and he's come to the Prem. I think physically he's got it all, and even technically, I think if he was a left back, I think we would be have different conversations about Dorgu, but he's had to play as a winger, which is a little bit tough. But I thought he was good. I thought Bruno was pretty good. There was a little bit of the game where Bruno, when we were 2-0 up, Bruno forced it a bit. I think he got a bit trigger happy because he had 10 men. But I think after the red card, he was excellent. He was very calm. But yeah, I think Mazarawi, Delict, Dorgu at times, and then Buemo too. I thought Buemo really had a good game.
yeah,
But
with Dorgu, like I can't tell if he's good or not. I really can't.
yeah,
It's
it's
bizarre.
because he's really awkward as well. Like when he's on the ball, it's almost like Wan-Bissaka. Like, I think he's better on the ball than Wan-Bissaka, and I feel like he's very technically secure. But again, he never looks that comfortable on the ball, even though you
No.
don't lose it that much. It's a weird one. I thought Ahmad was poor though. Ahmad's not had a good start to the season.
He hasn't. He's not been good really for a long time now. Good few months.
Do you guys think he's better playing wing back, or is this his preferred position?
I think he's definitely better up. In the opposition's third, but
Yeah.
even still, I mean, he's played him there the past few games, and he's been really poor. So
Yeah, I think him playing left 10. I mean, that doesn't excuse not passing to Sesko for an easy tap in, but I do think him playing left 10, especially for a winger who he's very left footed, and he loves to cut in, and he does go out on the outside too. But again, I think when you have someone like that who's very one footed, and then you put them on the opposite side, like you wouldn't put Salah left wing, like you just wouldn't. But you just wouldn't do it. Obviously, I know different level of player, but yeah, I think him. If you're going to play him, you either play him right 10 or right wing back. If not, with the injuries we have, you put Bruno at left 10 because he's way more natural there, and then you put Kobe next to one of Ugarte or Casemiro. But yeah, he's not. I think he should be benched the next few games. I think Mazarawi has done a good enough job at wing back to start there for the next 2 games, and then maybe if we do need that bit more attacking in the second half, because obviously we'll be playing Brentford and Sunderland, I think, there's no risk to bring on Ahmad in the second halves.
Do you know if Cunha will be fit for next week?
Yeah, he should be. I mean, yeah, he come on against Chelsea, didn't he? I thought he was really good off the bench against Chelsea too. Cunha.
I mean to start. Sorry.
I mean, I was quite surprised he got as long as he did against Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think he got 25 to 30 minutes. So I thought he would get 10, 15, but I mean, he only missed 1 game, so he wasn't out for a long time. I think he come off against Burnley, and he missed his derby, didn't he? He missed the derby. So I think he could definitely start.
Yeah, I mean, because I've been really impressed with Cunha, to be honest, since the start of the season. I think he looks really bright.
Yeah, he gives us a dynamic that we haven't had for years. A midfielder / attacker who can get on the ball and just drive with the ball. Like we don't have one. That's one of our biggest problems.
Another player up top, Benjamin Sesko. That's 5 appearances, 2 starts, no goals. Is there something to look forward to as United fans, or have you already gave up on him?
Given up? No. I was never a big fan of Sesko when we linked with him, and even now that we've got him, I'm not a big fan. But there obviously is something there. But again, with every young player, there's something there. I think he was better off going to Newcastle or anywhere else apart from United. I feel like being a young player at United isn't ideal. He's been brought in for 70 odd million. Xerxes isn't very good. And yet again, we've bought a young striker who almost has to hit the ground running because we have striker problems.
Yeah.
And even outside of that, I just don't think the system really helps strikers. I don't think I don't think this system helps strikers whatsoever. They're very isolated. They don't get much chances. Their job is to basically pluck balls out of the air and play it to the wing, play it to the 10s, and that's it really. I think they're very isolated in this formation.
Yeah, I agree. I think giving up, no, but 100% wrong signing. We needed a goal scorer. I said it when we were linked. I said, no, this is not the one. But giving up, no, obviously I'll support him, but there's signs there that he can score goals, but I don't think he's the right man for us right now.
I mean, hindsight's a funny thing because I mean, Ekatiki's hit the ground running. Would you guys think Ekatiki would have suited United better, or do you think he'd have faced the same problems?
I think he would have been better because I think he's a better footballer. I think technically he's a miles better footballer.
Oh
I
yeah,
think he's better on the ball. I think he's just again like a better footballer. But I do think he would have struggled also because I feel like Ekatike loves to drift out to the left hand side, and when you do pump balls up to him, he does well. But in this system, this striker needs to be central. Like he is pivotal. That he's smack bang in the middle, bringing down the ball from 60-yard punts. So again, I've not seen enough of Ekatika to say, oh yeah, he's
yeah.
bringing the ball down from 50 yards is he can be amazing at that. But I think he would be better because I think he's a better footballer and a better striker. But I still think he would face similar struggles.
I mean, just touching on Chelsea, that's their first loss this season. I think they started the season reasonably well. I know that Fulham game they got a bit lucky with the war and stuff, but their first loss and that defense again. We spoke about defense before on this podcast, Lenny, but I mean, Cucurella, Chaloba, Fofana, and Reece James doesn't really give me confidence that Chelsea can keep much clean sheets. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Again, Cucurella has been for the best part of a year and a half, been excellent.
Oh yeah,
But he
definitely.
does have these games where like he's really erratic and he's rattled from minute one and he just doesn't have a good game. I can't else remember what he had another game like this. Not too. I think it might have been for Spain. I'm not too sure, but I remember him just having to come off. But yeah, the defense is obviously they have the injury to Levy Colwill. Wesley Fofana just hasn't been the same since his injuries. I do like Tosin and I do like Chalobah, but I think for a team whose goal should be like they they should they should be looking at the fact that top four should be comfy this season. They
Oh
got
yeah.
it last year pretty close, and then this season it should be comfy, and then maybe next year and the year after that's when they can push on. But I just feel like again, and I hate to bring up the money aspect, when they've spent so much money, and you look
Crazy.
at the top of the pitch and the bottom of the pitch, and you're like, where is this money gone?
Mm.
Yeah,
You've got you've got no you've got one okay, you've got Gusto and Reece James. You've got centre backs who don't exactly fill you with loads of confidence. You got Cucurella, okay, Hato is young, new signing, okay. And then the top of the pitch you've got Gittins and Garnacho, who again, very young, very raw, need time. Palmer, obviously excellent. Neto, I think he has since the Club World Cup. I think he's actually been pretty good, but it's not.
Oh yeah.
Again, he hasn't really lived up to what they thought they were getting at Wolves. And then at the top of the pitch, Pedro again. I think he's proved me not proved me wrong, but I didn't think Pedro. I thought Pedro was a good player, but he looks great. And obviously Delap's injured, so like you look at all the money and it's like where has it really gone? I know obviously they do the whole profit thing, send them for a year later, but I don't know, man. It's a bit
I
it's a
think
weird one
with
with
I
Chelsea.
think with Pedro, he definitely plays better as a second striker. And you've seen in the last couple
100%
of games,
where he can float.
Brentford. I mean, he didn't get assist against Brentford, but I don't think he was great. And against United, he's been playing as like the man up front, with like Palmer behind him or someone else, and he hasn't really been performing. With Delap's injury, I don't know if that's gonna kind of affect Joao Pedro. I still think he's a great player, but again, with Brighton, when he used to play with the two up top, he used to be him and Welbeck, and he always used to be the second striker. And I think he's much better as a second striker because he's not the vocal point of the attack, which I don't think he really suits. But man, yeah, I've gone no doubt. I think Joao Pedro would be a great player. Cole Palmer, I mean, he got injured. I went off after just 21 minutes. I don't know how long he's gonna miss. Their next fixtures are Brighton. Let me just check here. I'm sure they got Brighton in the league next, and then they've got Benfica in the Champions League, and then Liverpool and Forest. So if he misses them games, the Liverpool one's gonna be tough regardless. Forest, I mean, and they probably still win that. Brighton ain't an easy game. We've seen that with Spurs and City games. I don't know. Man. I think Palmer will probably be injured for a bit, but I don't know how long it'll be.
Yeah, it's a weird one with Palmer. I don't really know what's up with him. It's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, I think he went off yesterday with a groin injury. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, man, I thought it was a really entertaining game from start to finish. There was literally action from the first minute until right at the end. I mean, Chelsea got a story right at the end. Sanchez got, red card right at the beginning. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed it as a neutral. I was watching that, loving every second of it. But yeah, man, good game. Let's move on to the next, well, the biggest game of the weekend, a top of the table clash between Man City and Arsenal, which ended 1-1. This was a real weird game, man, like a really weird game. It started off and Holland scored. I thought that was awful defending from both the centre backs. I thought Gabriel was awful in that exchange. And Saliba, I don't know, I think he was trying to bring out his Van Dijk kind of defending there and he just failed miserably. And just, I mean, we spoke about Holland last week, how good he is. I mean, he made them pay. That's the first open play goal they've conceded all season. And it was it was on the counter attack. Reinders played through Holland, and Holland just buried a great finish. And then basically for the rest of the game, City played what a 5-4-1 formation or something like that, typically until the 90th minute. And then, Arsenal pushing on. I don't think they were doing like much to push on. Of course, they had most of the possession, but I don't think they really created any big chances if I remember correctly. And of course, that Martinelli one, I think was on the defense. You poke in the post. Why is your defense playing so half? It's literally like 90 plus third minute or fourth minute, and your defense is that high. It made no sense to me. And of course, Donnarumma, I think he's a good keeper, but there, I think he was off his line a bit too much, and Martinelli dinked him. And I think Arsenal got really lucky there, in my opinion. I feel like City scored, and then they did what they had to do, basically block the post. But at the end, there, it was a bit silly from Pep, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think City deserved the 3 points there. Like you said, Danny, Arsenal, I didn't really know where they get a goal from. You never saw a goal coming at any point, really, did you?
No. I thought Gyökeres was really poor. Like, really poor. I don't remember how many touches he had. I don't think he had a shot. I don't remember him taking a shot. And overall, his link, everything about him was just awful. I mean, I said it before. I don't think he's a good player. I don't know if you guys remember Lukaku's Arsenal, not Arsenal, United and Chelsea days. He used to score against all the small teams, like all of them. He used to bully them.
Yeah.
And against the big teams, he never turned up. And I've got that kind of vibe with Gyökeres.
Yeah, I think he's a really bad fit for Arsenal. I think again, I know when clubs want to buy players, it's nice to sign players that have that can offer something different. So Havertz likes to come a bit deeper and collect the ball and pop it off. But then the Gyökeres is more so like running in behind, tap ins here and there. So it was a really weird fit. And funny enough, I think Sesko would have been a lot better at Arsenal. A lot better at Arsenal. I think he could spread defenses. And although Gyökeres can do that and he pulls out wide, and I just don't think it's a great fit, especially with the wingers that Arsenal have currently. I think Madueke has been good for Arsenal, but he does sometimes take too long to get the ball in the box. So the defense is settled, and then it's just Gyökeres against two big centre backs. And again, Madueke loves to go on the outside, so he doesn't really have a lot of space to get a ball in. And then obviously if they play Trossard on the left, I don't know, I just don't think it's a great fit. I think Arsenal's attack, they've somewhat neglected their attack over the last few years. And then I think the signings they made this summer are just not the signings you typically would expect to push a team like that to win a title. So
what sort of striker do you think would have been a better fit for Arsenal?
Isak.
Yeah, Isak would have been, yeah.
I mean, just talking about Eze, I think Eze is a phenomenal footballer. I think he's a great footballer, but I don't think he's a natural winger. And I think Arteta is going to push him as a natural winger, which is not his best position. I feel like if he signed with someone like Spurs under Thomas Frank's system, playing like not out wide, but as like a left hand, like basically how he's playing Xavi as, I think he would be a much better fit. I think he's a great footballer and he's going to, do good, not great things at Arsenal, but good things at Arsenal. I just don't feel like he's going to maximize his potential at a club like Arsenal, which is not his fault. I just think it's the way the manager plays. He's not really going to get the best out of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly baffling. I mean, Odegaard's injured and has been for the last two games, and I know they've played Liverpool and City, but you just put Eze in there with Rice and Zubimendi. I don't see the issue. I really don't.
Were you surprised Arteta went with the Marino, Zubimendi, Rice, or did you expect it?
With Arteta, I'm not surprised. I don't think he should have. Like, I understand you want control, and I understand, you play for set pieces and you want to look compact. But the last 2 years, your downfall has been, okay, they have had injuries, but the downfall has also been when you're playing these big clubs, Liverpool, City, a draw just isn't enough at times. Like Liverpool, for example, when they won the league last year, and the year they won the league against City, which was pretty close, correct me if I'm wrong, but they beat City in these games where they needed to. They didn't play out for a draw and a 1-1 or a 0-0 or a 2-2. They went out there to win. And when it comes down to a point, 2 points here, it's you need the win. I think Arsenal could have 100% won today, but they just played too negative, and that's becoming more of a theme under Arteta.
Just talking about that, Andy, about Liverpool actually going to City and winning. I remember last season. I think it was before the game at Etihad in I think it was February or March, sometime around that. I think we were like 5 6 points clear, and I was like, okay, if we win this game against City away, which we haven't done since 2015, which is a really long time, 10 years, we'll win the league. And we went there, we absolutely battered them for 90 minutes. I think we won 2-0 at the end. It could have easily been 3-4-0, and that's exactly what you have to do. Slot short, okay, he's got cojones. He goes to Man City, and I think we played with it was a different setup, like a really different tactically setup, but it wasn't like a defense setup. It was what we needed to do. We scored 2 goals in the first half, and the second half we just, when we could hit him on the counter, and it was a
Yeah,
great setup. But with like Arteta, he starts games really defensively approached. Like a Marino, Zubimendi, Ras midfield doesn't really fill you with confidence, does it? I mean, a
yeah,
Madueke, Gyökeres, Trossard is okay, I'd say, but it's not like again the greatest attacker. But that midfield, as they're starting in the midfield instead of Marino, what's the problem? You got two great sixes there. You got Zubimendi who can play six. You got Rice who can play as an eight, and you got Eze who can play more of an advanced eight. And he went with Marino instead, which really baffled me. But yeah, man, I think they've got the squad definitely to win the league. By far, I think they've got the most complete squad in the league if you take like talking just position by position. But
100%.
the manager, he's a coward. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't see
That's what
him.
baffles me because when you have a defense like that, you lean back on it. So you
Yeah,
almost should feel like, okay, so if I go a bit more attacking the midfield, I know that my defense, which has four centre backs in it, by the way, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and Calafiori. If Eze does get a bit too far forward, my defense should be enough. And you're playing against a team that has, okay, Doku played on the left, you had Bernardo on the right, and then so if you put Eze left centre mid, and let's say he got caught out, it's Bernardo Silva. You're not in crazy amounts of danger if you get caught in a counter attack with Bernardo Silva on the ball. So like again, he should lean back on his defense and not be like, well, I've got a good defense, so let's just start defensive. No, start more attacking and let your defense, not bail you out, but like it's there to help you. So like he prioritizes defending too much.
I remember in the 22-23 season, that was the first season. People were like, okay, Arsenal serious this season. I think they had Martinelli, Jesus Saka, and it was like free flowing football. Some of the best football I've watched in the Premier League. And then I think it came to like May around the title race time, and they completely bottled it.
I think it
They
was the
started
Villa
Liverpool.
game.
They
I think the
yeah,
Villa game, I think it was.
I think that might be in the season after, but the season
Oh,
before
okay,
that,
okay, okay.
they drew to Liverpool 2-2 at Anfield, West Ham 2-2, Southampton 3-3, and then they lost to City 4-1 at Etihad, and that just completely derailed their title.
Was that the crazy Ramsdale save?
I think it was, yeah, it was that
Yeah.
season, which I mean, the next season they upgraded to Raya, but that season with Ramsdale and them few like three draws in
Yes,
a
yeah.
row, yeah, I think he just scored a toucher, and since then he's just gone. I think he hasn't found the right balance. Like you drew them 3 games in a row, and he lost after that. Try to find the right balance. Try not to go too the other way. You get me? And I feel like he's done that, and he's been scored since that game. And seeing it now, it's come as downfall, man. Like my main my main worry about Austin is that this might be the last season they have at the top competing. I think some of the players are getting a bit older, and players like Saliba might be wanting to leave to go to Real Madrid, which I don't think is like crazy out of the world. I think if Madrid came knocking and Saliba was like, I don't see me winning a Champions League or a Premier League with Arsenal, I might as well go.
100%, 100%.
And I
Especially
don't
if
know,
they
yeah.
especially if they sign Konate on a free and
Mhm.
Rudiger leaves on a free, that's one in, one out. So they're still going to want another centre back. And if they try to get Saliba, then they'll have Saliba, Konate, Howson, and then they got that young guy, ain't they? The Spanish kid, I forgot his name. Can't think of his name, but they got him too.
Could you see a world where Saka wants to leave?
Um, Not yet, personally. Not yet. I think it'll be a few more years. I don't know. I don't know. I'd be very shocked if he. I don't know. I'd be very shocked if he left in the next couple of years. In the next 2 3 years, I'd be quite shocked. I think it'll be Arsenal for a long time.
Yeah, and
depending on the injury situation. I don't know how that plays out in the next few years.
yep. I mean, touching on City, I thought they were fine for most of the game. I mean, they didn't really have to do much after they scored the goal with Holland. They defended well, I think, and I mean, the goal was really stupid to concede. If I was a Man City fan, I'd be really annoyed. Not taking 3 points away from that. As an Arsenal fan, I'll probably take a point. It was last minute goal. You got really lucky with it. I'll take a point. But as a Man City fan, I'll be really annoyed. Like we could have, got 3 points here and gone closer to City. Arsenal, Liverpool. I'd be basically, kind of bottle the game. But I mean, they were. I feel like Rodri was really good in this game. Holland, getting the goal. I thought the right back and left backs, Nico Rally and Kushner, I thought had really good games. But yeah, man, if I was a City fan, I'd be annoyed at a point right now. But if you asked that before the game, they'd probably take the point.
Yeah,
And, I mean, for City, I think the City have got a few easy fixtures now. They've got Burnley, Brentford, Everton, Villa, Bournemouth the next five. So I could see them, kind of putting a run here together, winning some of these games because they play Liverpool in November. So I'm sure they don't want to be too many points behind us at that stage.
100%. I'm impressed with
Also,
Pep though. Like he feels like he's changed his not philosophy, his whole philosophy, but obviously in the summer he sold Edison and went for a more shot stop and keeper. So people, there was question marks about that. And then for example, someone like Cherky, who on paper is a typical Pep signing and Pep player. And then now, even last week, again, I know they were 3 up against us, but every goal was on the counter. It wasn't like, I mean, I think we had like 60% possession at the Etihad, which I know obviously we lost 3, so it doesn't matter, but typically you don't really see that. And then today they went for a more get our goal, which again will come from a counter, get our goal, sit back and counter when we need to. And then he went to a 5 back as well towards the end. I think taking Haaland off might not be in the best uh sub because especially against us, he was very good in the set piece. I know they didn't concede from a set piece, but I think having Haaland back there would have helped. But it's everything's in hindsight.
not gonna lie,
So
I would have never thought Pep would have not changed his ways, but kind of like tweaked his ways. I would have never thought he would have done it. But I mean, for this game, he kind of had to do it. So I mean, that's something positive, a manager being able to adapt. He's always stuck to his ways, which is great for him because they've always worked for him. He's like one of the best managers of all time. I wouldn't really be mad if he didn't change his ways as a City fan, but he needed to this season, and he has done. And they've been better in recent weeks. I mean, be United, be Napoli, and got a point here today. The next few fixtures are favourable. I think they should be coming away with wins there. For Arsenal, Newcastle away next, which
that's tough.
I mean that's been one of the toughest games in the last few years for Arsenal. Don't think they won that last season. The season before that, I don't think they won. So I mean, when is that's next? Yeah, that's next Sunday, hopeful. So I mean, I hope Newcastle win. I think that'll probably be a draw. I never see Arsenal winning at St James Park. It's one of the toughest grounds for any team to go. I mean there. So I mean, I hope they get. I mean, I hope they lose there, but I think it probably be a draw. And then after that, they've got West Ham at home, so should be winning that.
That
But
should be
yeah, man,
alright.
let's look at the table right now. They're 5 points behind Liverpool already. I mean, 5 games in, you don't want to be that many points behind Liverpool, do you?
Yeah, exactly. And you've already played them once, so you can only get 2 points on them from actually beating them. So
Exactly. I mean,
you now
we
need
might
to
as well
go against and beat them. So
yeah, I mean,
it'll be
I think we
tough.
might as well just cover the Liverpool game because we never did a review last season. Some of us
Oh,
were
okay,
busy.
okay.
But I mean, talking about the performance, the opening 30 minutes were some of the best football I've seen us play all season. I thought everyone looked phenomenal. But after that, it kind of just fell apart. I mean, the first goal he scored, Gramovich, phenomenal goal. The way Salah played him through and he dinked the keeper, I did not think he could pull it
Oh, the
off, and he
finish was
pulled it off.
just
He's just a
ridiculous.
phenomenal footballer, man. In my opinion, one of the best midfielders in the world. Not even just the league anymore. I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world. I think Salah again. I think he had a really good game, which has been needed. He hasn't really started the season great, but Atletico and Everton back to back. He's pulled off some great performances. Ekitike was one of the best players on the pitch, man. The way he took that goal, I think he went from McAllister to Sobazai to Gramovich to Ekitike. It was a really well worked goal, and that opening 30 minutes again was some of the best football we played all season. But I don't know what happened after that. I think we just let our foot off the gas tank, and then after that we just let Everton get back in the game. They were getting more off the ball. Grealish, I thought, had a really good game. I think he got the better of Bradley basically for most of the game. And then they pulled one back in the second half. And then for like the rest of the game, we were basically under pressure to, get a third. And that third wasn't coming. And Everton could look like, they were going to get the equalizer here. So, I mean, I'm happy as a Liverpool fan, a derby is never easy to win. And getting 3 points there is massive. Arsenal, Burnley, Everton back to back to back is, I would have put money on us dropping points in one of them games, but winning all three games, even just talk on Newcastle before that and Bournemouth. So 5 out of 5 wins is really great for us. I mean, then as a Rival fan, what do you think of Liverpool's performance?
Um, yeah, I thought the first 30 minutes, I think it was your best stuff so far this season. I think obviously Works didn't start. I feel like your midfield was better physically. I think the issue this season has been some of the physicality between McAllister and Verts. I feel like it has been a little bit soft and a bit too easy to play through. But obviously, so Szoboszlai started, which gives his energy. Just he can run for 90 minutes. I mean, non-stop, and that's what he gives to Liverpool, and that's what he gave to last season. And I think you saw the perks of that for the first 30 minutes, and then we kind of saw what we've seen from Liverpool mainly in second halves, where you would take a lead in the 55th, 60th minute, maybe 1-0, 2-0, and then you'll drop off. So I think we saw it a little bit earlier this week because you got the early goals, and then yeah, it went 2-1, and I think obviously because it was a derby, it was a bit more. Oh, I mean,
KG,
I think it gets into the players' heads like, oh man, we've had these leads, we've lost these leads for the last 3-4 weeks. I know we have scored late on, but you don't want to do it in a derby because you might not get a winner. But yeah, you end up closing it out. I thought Gravenberch was excellent. I think his finish is just. Honestly, I was so surprised. The ball by Salah as well is just incredible. Ekitike again, just every week for the most part. He just looks excellent. I mean, his physicality, which is one of the biggest. I know he's quite tall, but it's one of the biggest things where like, can he physically
Oh
can he
yeah,
cope? And he's coping completely fine. I
I
think
mean,
Gakpo's struggling a bit, but
in my opinion, one of the best performances was Kirk's. I feel like in a second half he really stepped up, and that was by far his best performance in a Liverpool top this season, which is encouraging because I always thought Kirk is a good player. I thought he's a bit raw at times. He can jump in tackles. Sometimes he loves to start tackles, but this game he's defending, especially at the back post. Against the likes of Ndai was really good, and he was part of the reason we didn't really drop points in that game. Gakpo, like you just said, Lenny, really poor again, man. I feel like I said it on the Atletico Madrid review that he's too predictable, man. Like he gets the ball, he just cuts in. There's no variation to his game. It's easier for defenders to read him basically all the game. I mean, he is really skilled, so he can pull you off sometimes. You can put the ball in the box when he cuts in. He can shoot. He can score sometimes. But I mean, especially when you're playing like a low block, like we played against Atletico, you better have some variation. You better tricky defenders. You better put some thoughts into the head, something to deal with. I mean, with Rio when he came on against Atletico, that's exactly what he did. He made the defenders, try worry which way is he going to go, if he's going to cross it in, if he's going to dribble with it, and basically from Rio coming on and being like a creative outlet, we got the winner from the corner, which I don't really see from Gakpo. So I'm not at the stage where I'm worried about Gakpo because I think he's got 3 goal assists in his first 5, which isn't the worst. But I mean, for the next few games against Palace again, that's going to be a really tough game. Liverpool and Palace are the only 2 unbeaten teams in the league, and I hope he do step up that game. But I'm not at that stage where I'm like overly concerned where he should be immediately
yeah,
dropped.
yeah.
But he needs to just fix up, man. And from a rival fan's perspective, Lenny, Ekitike and Isak, do you see them coexisting, or do you think it'll always be one or the other?
It's a weird one. I mean, it's a good problem to have, isn't it? So I mean,
Yeah,
but I don't know. So it is a weird one because I know I've heard a lot of your fans say, well, Gakpo isn't performing, so maybe put a Ekitike out there. But I
that's
don't
a
think
natural
people
position. Yeah,
realize I don't think people realize the difference between a striker that peels out wide to actually making that your starting position and
yeah,
basically being there non-stop. I don't know. Again, it's hard. I mean, Isaac, obviously, last season it wasn't too bad, but the season before when they're Champions League, he did get injured and he
yeah.
missed a bit of time. So again, obviously AFCON's coming up in I think it's January, so maybe something gets switched around there. I don't know. I don't know how that would work out. Maybe Szoboszlai goes off the right. I don't know, but I know he can play right. He's played right back, but maybe he goes off the right, but plays a bit more central. Ekitike goes behind. Maybe he can even play behind Isaac. I don't exactly know, but I'm guessing. I mean, Slot. If anyone's going to figure it out, it would be Slot. Again, it's good. It's good problems to have if you want to call it a problem. But again, I mean, I don't think it will become an issue. I think if it does become an issue and someone's not happy, and especially if that person's Isaac, it's a bit on him. I mean, he knew what he was getting into, basically. I mean, Ekatike was signed before him, so again, it's tough because Ekatike is in form, so I don't know how you exactly bench him, but I don't know. I mean, Ekatike's been coming off in the 60th minute a lot of the games anyway, so
Yeah.
again, I think as long as you're winning games and they both will score a tremendous amount of goals, I don't think it'll be an issue, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a problem at all. I mean, it's one of the best problems to have having two great centre forwards, rotating with them. And I think we've seen it already, against Everton, we took Ekitike off, we bought Isak on. We haven't really seen them play together once yet. I think it's always been one or the other. And
Yeah,
midweek, we play Southampton. So I'd actually start Isak in that. I'd give Isak 60 minutes to, just get a goal or two under his belt, build up his confidence. And against Palace on next Saturday, I'd actually start Ekitike. He's in form, he's banging
yeah,
goals.
yeah.
Start him there again.
I
Bring
agree.
Isak on. After that, we could see what happens. I think we play Champions League, Galatasaray after that. So maybe that could be Isak's first start, second start because he started Atletico. But I mean, I would definitely start Ekitike next weekend and give Isak some minutes in the Carabao Cup. But yeah, man, it's one of like the best problems you could have. Two great forwards, and I'm sure before the both side, even Ekitike, he knew that okay, Liverpool might get Isak. So I mean, he could have said,
Definitely.
okay, I might want to go Newcastle, Isak might come Liverpool, or he might pick like Chelsea or United. But he knew what he's getting himself into. So I feel like yeah, it's just a great problem to have, and I'm happy with both of them to be honest.
Yeah, I don't, I
I
don't, I
mean,
don't think it'll be an issue, to be honest.
on the Everton side, I mean, I think Everton did good to be honest, better than they've done Anfield for most of the time. Grealish, I mean, this guy's a mid-table bowler. For Man City, he was kind of restricted because Pep didn't let him have the freedom he wanted. But for Everton, he's been one of the best players this season.
Yeah, I mean, he gives me, he reminds me of a bit like Zaha, where it's like big fish, small pond, right? So obviously you go to City for a big fee, and again, it does play a part. Like he's going for 100 million, like it does. You go to City, and rightfully so, you have to abide by Pep and adapt to his system, and you're a part of a system. Yes, you cost 100 million, but at the end of the day, you're just a cog in the system pretty much. Like
Yeah,
you cost a lot of money, but again, if you don't play well, you're not going to play. And I think it got to the point where like I know the whole thing about Pep kills like ballers, etc. Which again is just it is silly. I know I get it, but it is pretty silly. But yeah, he just didn't really live up to expectations at City. I think he did get basically was called robotic because it was just recycling the ball. But
yeah,
again, it's the system. It's one of them trophies. It's one of them 7 Premier Leagues. So yeah, going back to his roots where he can, be creative. He can take on as many people as he wants. He can lose the ball as many times as he wants, and Moyes isn't going to be angry at that. He wants to see his players take players on. So I think he's been excellent. I think Dewsbury Hall has been a good signing too.
oh, yeah.
Ndai obviously has been great, and I think their defense too. Their defense is considering they're missing
Branthwaite.
Branthwaite. I think their defense looks really good. I think Garner played in midfield this week and not at left back, which is I think was one of the only changes they made because I'm pretty sure they've been playing Gahey and Tim. I don't want to say his second name, but I think his name's Tim something. It's got quite a long name, second name.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I
I
think
remember
he got benched today, and they brought in Mikalenko at left back and Garner midfield. So yeah, I
Mikhalenko wasn't
mean,
great to be honest.
yeah, he weren't that great, but they'll probably go back to Garner at left back next week. But yeah, I think they've had a really good start to the
Oh
season,
yeah,
to be
definitely.
honest. I think they can be very happy with what they've done so far.
I mean, they bang on mid-table right now, 10th. I mean, I think our prediction them 10th or 11th. I think they still end around that. But I mean, as an Everton fan, I'd be really happy. Great start to the season. You got Grealish, who I think is gonna have a phenomenal season. And next, I think they've got West Ham at home. So again, for me, that's 3 points right there. So yeah, man, we'll see with Everton. Just touching on one thing about Grealish. Do you think if he has a phenomenal season, City will want him back or do you think he'll?
Nah,
Or do you think Everton
I
would pay the
think
40 million to
I
sign him?
kind of feel like that bridge has been burnt a bit. I again, this is just my opinion. I don't think maybe him and Pep had the greatest of relationships. I think maybe a lot of the off-field stuff maybe played into a part with Pep that he's not really happy. And obviously the comments that Jack Grealish made on Instagram after I think his second game or first game, where it was like, I think it was an article and it was like Jack Grealish gets back-to-back assists for the first time since like basically since he was at Villa, and I'm pretty sure he put on Instagram saying like can't get back-to-back assists if I don't play back-to-back games, something like
Yeah, I
that. It
think
was it was like a jab at Pep, so I don't think
yeah.
Pep would know about that. He would have saw it. It would have been sent to him. So I don't think that relationship can be. I don't
Yeah.
think Pep will. I don't think they need him really, to be honest. City. I don't think they need a player like that. I think he suits being at a quote unquote smaller club where he can be more expensive.
Where he's basically the main man and he has like more
Yeah.
responsibility.
So it runs with
Uh,
Zaha at Palace.
Yeah, facts. I mean, let's start with one of the 3 o'clock games. Just pull it up. West Ham against Crystal Palace. We start off with that. Crystal Palace gang, another win. I mean, they've had a great start to the season, haven't they? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say great, but they've won 2 games and drawn 3, so they haven't really lost many games. When no one game at all. If I was a Palace fan, I'd be buzzing with the start of the season, man. There's
Oh,
been lots of
100%.
draws in there, but I mean, I think Mateta is a great player. Mateta is one of the most underrated mans in the whole league, and he showed that against Palace, West Ham because he got a goal. And Crystal Palace, I think, this season when Europe starts for them, that is where we could see like them kind of declining or not playing as well. Right now, they've got most of the squad fit. They've got everyone ready and going, and it's showing because Palace on their day could be any team in the league, like literally anyone in there. On their day, they could be any team in the league, and I mean they've got Liverpool next week, which is a game I'm not looking forward to, especially away. I mean we beat them
So it's
last
a
season
bogey
away, I think 1-0,
fixture.
but it's going to be a really tough fixture for us, man. I could see us grounding over 1-0 or a 2-0 or a 2-1. I just don't see us, putting them to the sword. But I mean, Palace, let's just look at the team because I don't really watch this game. I just saw the highlights of it. So it started
Yeah,
Mateta,
same.
Pino and Kamada, which I mean they had Eze there and Saw there. I mean Eze has gone to Arsenal and Saw's injured right now. That's still a quality front three, man. I think Jeremy Pino has been quality whenever I watched him. Kamada is a good real player, who can fit in then and then. And Mateta again, proven goal scorer. And then midfield of Hughes and Wharton, I think has been a great. I mean, Glasgow managed to get the best out of Will Hughes in the midfield with Wharton. I mean, that isn't really the fastest
Yeah.
midfield. It isn't the most technical midfield, but it does the job. And the wing backs I think are great. I think Mitchell and Munoz. Mitchell, got a goal this game. And Munoz, I think, have both been phenomenal. And even the defense, I mean, they managed to keep where he and Lacroix and Richards and Henderson. This is a really solid team, and I could see them if they didn't have Europe. I could see them pushing on for seventh, eighth, maybe even sixth. But I think Europe is where we might see a decline. But their manager Glasner, I think he's a great manager. I think a club. A club like United could do with him, but of course, he's not gonna go there. I don't think he'd ever go to United. But
Yeah,
yeah, man,
I think he just sets them up excellent. I think he really pushes on his wing backs, so they make a four in midfield, so they're not easily played through, and their 2 wide centre backs are really good at defending wide areas. Like Gahey is excellent, and Chris Richards, I feel like he might be one of Palace's most underrated players this season.
yeah,
He's been unreal this season. And again, a lot of Palace fans before the season weren't really confident with him being the starter at right centre back, but he's been amazing. I think, yeah, they get set up amazingly. I mean, Will Hughes, I think, is criminally underrated. I think this year and even like last year, I think at times, I mean, because Wharton's been injured quite a bit, he's kind of carried the midfield. Even when Wharton's played, a lot of the time he's been the better player. So
yeah,
yeah, very good. I mean, Sar's injured right now, and I think that will become a problem. I think when they play in Europe, there will be injuries. I mean, the replacements, just the drop in level with the replacements is not great. I mean, if they lose Mateta, you've got Nketiah starting.
yeah,
Um, if Pino gets injured, they've got no one to play that left 10 situation. They've got no one really, pretty much. I mean, Kamada was signed on a free and he played in the pivot for the longest time and he wasn't very good. So I'm glad he's now playing higher up. But even still, like Sar's out right now and Decore is out yet again for the I don't know third year in a row. I feel like he's always injured. So if they lose a midfielder like Wharton again because he has a knack of getting injured, I mean they could drop in the league, which I hope not because I do like watching Palace, but the depth is just not there for them.
I mean, in the summer, they sold Eze and bought in Yeremy Pinho, and bar that, I don't think they really did anything huge. Which, for a
That's
team
about it.
that's
Yeah,
going to be in Europe right now, you need kind of more depth in the position. Like you said, if Mateta gets injured, if Pinho gets injured, if even Hughes or Wharton gets injured, there's quite screwed. So I mean, let's hope their players stay fit because I like Palace. I think they're a good
yeah,
team.
same.
I like watching them play. I think Glasden's a great, manager. And yeah, man, I could see him. Let's hope they keep their players fair. I could see him finishing top 10 in the league.
I'd,
West
I'd
Ham
definitely
though,
if they could say fit.
West Ham though.
Ugh,
I mean, they what? They kind of screwed right now, aren't they? 3 points.
yeah, it's not looking good for them.
The only win came against Forest, and after they've just lost 4 games.
I
As a,
think I think the
as a West,
change the four back
yeah,
has helped them, but again, it's looking pretty bleak. I just I don't know, man. James Ward-Prowse, as good as he was at Southampton, he just their fans are not really happy with him. I know that they were he Potter was obsessed with playing a midfield three of it was Prowse, Souček, and who was the third one? I think it was Guido Rodriguez, and it was just so slow and just no passes forward. And I think again, I don't know. I'm really surprised with them being that bad. I thought they would, you know, be around there, but be pretty comfy in terms of relegation. But they're not. It's not looking good for them. It really isn't. It really isn't. And their keeper Areola. I mean, a couple of years ago, I felt like he was pretty solid, but every time I do get to watch him, he's making a mistake. He's not powering to his own net. I think yes, he might need to get benched. I think did they sign that? Oh, to be fair, they signed the Leicester keeper, and he's just as bad. Jesus, he had a really horrible season, hasn't he? That Leicester
yeah,
keeper, he's really weak. So I guess good that they kept Paqueta in the summer because again, if he did go, I mean, that probably signs off their relegation. But
yeah. I mean, you
yeah,
mentioned it.
it's
Hermansen,
not
the
looking
keeper,
good.
son from Leicester, he's not great. And again, Ariola ain't really great. Looking at the team though, I mean, Bowen, I said here before the season started, if there's any hope of West Ham staying up, he's gonna have
It'd
to
be
score at
him.
least 15
Yeah,
goals in the league, 15 to 20 goals. I mean, he scored yesterday, but it weren't really enough. He was key in the win against Forest. I think he was the main man. He got goal in that game as well. But looking at their squad and the team, I'm not really moved, man. I can easily see that it's gonna be them or Wolves. I think one of I don't know. I could see both of them going down, but right now I definitely see Sunderland staying up. We'll talk about that game, but they've really impressed me. I mean, a Ward Prowse and a Fernandez pivot isn't really the most inspiring, is it? Let's be honest. Even though I
no,
think Fernandez is a
not
talented
whatsoever.
player,
Especially
but
defensively.
yeah. But I mean, Bowen, Paqueta, and Somerville. That ain't the worst attack. Let's be honest. That could
Even
bring
Callum
some goals
Wilson,
in.
he's been the cameo against Forest. I was really impressed with that. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean,
just it's
he
not
started
inspiring.
yesterday against West Ham and he weren't really great. Then he got subbed off for Fulkrug again. Wilson and Fulkrug as your striking options and really, the most inspiring. I mean, they lost Kudus. So Somerville, I think, starting most games. But again, the team, I just don't see him staying up, man. They're going to need to get some, wins where Bowen, scores lots of goals and carries them. But I just don't see it happening. Their defense, you were right. I think they had to bunch Wan-Bissaka and bring in Walker Peters. That was a right choice. And I'm glad they did that. Mavropanos and Kilman again ain't the best centre back partnership. Juve, I think that all I thought he did get assist again this game, but West Ham, man, I think they kind of screwed. And just talking about them, they've got Everton away and Arsenal away in the next 2 games. I don't see them picking up any points in them games. So they're going to be one win in 7 games. I mean, I'd be worried if I was a West Ham fan.
100%. The only bright spark is that the youth kid. He looks pretty good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
about it, really,
Moving on
with
to,
him.
I mean, a relegation battle already, 6 pointer. Wolves against Leeds. Leeds won
No,
3-1. I mean, Uh, Before this game, I was saying this might be a draw or one of these teams. If one of the teams are going to win, it was going to be Wolves. I do not expect Leeds to win this game. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't see where the goals will come from. But I mean, they were really impressive this game. And just talking about Leeds, before the season started, I would have said, okay, Leeds were probably going to get relegated. I just don't see why their creativity is really great with Aronson, Daniel James, Okafor. I think he had a good game today, but yesterday, but he's not really great. I had him, I think, 19th in my predictions, or maybe even, yeah, I think I had him 19th in my predictions. I mean, they've started the season well, to be honest. If I was a Leeds fan, I'd be really impressed. They've beaten Wolves. I mean, the Fulham loss was really unfortunate, last minute on goal.
Yeah.
I mean, any other day that could have been a draw. Newcastle, a home getting a draw there, that's a great result. Losing against Arsenal, that's expected, and then beating Everton. So, you know what? Before the season, I basically had no hope for Leeds, but the way they've started the season has been really well. Personally, I don't think they'll keep it up. I think that not having a proper nine, or a nine that's going to guarantee you 10 to 15 to 20 goals a season isn't there. I just don't see him staying up. But I mean, if right now, I'd be really happy with this start as a Leeds fan.
Oh, 100%. I had the same. I think I had them 19th. I think I had them 19th. I think I had Burnley 20th.
Yeah, same.
I didn't have much hope. But yeah, I mean, again, I only saw the highlights from this, but obviously Calvert-Lewin getting his first goal was huge. I mean, he's had a few rough performances. I mean, I remember in the cup game, he came off the bench and had a bit of a stinker.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I mean, I've been really impressed with that stat. Is it ex Stuttgart, right? No, Hoffenheim, sorry. I
That might be right.
I I remember Man United were linked to him. I think a year and a half ago. We were linked with him and Stiller, and I looked up about him and watched a few clips and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, he looks quite tidy. And yeah, he went to Leeds, and I was quite surprised because, but again, I shouldn't be surprised. It's the Prem. Prem could get anyone really, but no, I think he's been definitely their best player. I mean, the free kick he scored was unbelievable. It was top corner. But yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised by them. I mean, you look at their squad, it looks like a team that should go down. Again, they could still go down, but I mean, you got Darlow in goal, who, I mean, Newcastle's third choice keeper for the longest time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know Meslier. I don't know if he's injured or if he's just been dropped because in the championship last year he cost them so many points.
Yeah, he was on the
But
bench. I think they've just dropped him.
fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I've been really impressed with Leeds so far this season. Really, really impressive.
Yeah. I mean, just talking about the defense, Goodmanson, Strujic, Rodon and Bogle, I think have started the season really well. I mean, they've kept, I think, a clean sheet against Everton, against Newcastle. They were really, really unlucky to concede against Fulham. And today, I mean, they did concede one, but again, I think they look really solid. Calvert-Lewin's scoring was really key. I think he had to get himself, off the mark. And I mean, I think Ampadu is really underrated midfielder, especially for Leeds fans.
Yeah,
He's like
yeah.
their go-to player. And again, he had another great game. Stark, I think, was phenomenal. You know, again, I watched him a few times off and on, and he was a player who really stood out. And I didn't expect him to sign for Leeds out of all teams, but I mean, again, he got a goal and assist this game. He looked really good. Longstaff, again, that's a weird signing because I was like, okay, why are they signing, a player from Newcastle, especially Longstaff? It was just a weird signing, but again, I think he's had a okay start to the season. So I mean, Leeds are looking good, man. The next game I think is against Bournemouth at home, which again, really tough game. Of course, see them losing that. The next
Yeah.
three are actually Bournemouth, Spurs, and Burnley. So I mean, if I was a
Four
Leeds fan,
points
I'd
would be amazing from that, but
I would,
you
yeah,
realistically you're looking at three against a win against
three.
Burnley and then loss in the other two. But yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say
gonna
I'd be
be
happy with
tough.
3 points in them three games because Tottenham and Bournemouth don't really games they'd be like, okay, yeah, we can get 3 points here, maybe a point in one of them games. I mean, you never know with Spurs, they might concede a few and Leeds could get a point in that game. But against Burnley is the game where they're looking at, okay, we could get 3 points here, and after that, West Ham at home is another game where they could be looking like, okay, if we can out of the next four, we can get two wins here, they'll be happy with that. So Bournemouth, Spurs, Burnley, West Ham, 6 points out of the possible 12 there. I'll be really happy as a Leeds fan.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Now the other team, the worst team so far in the Premier League, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh
I
mate,
mean, dreadful start to the season, man. I think I had them 17th. I had him just above save relegation. I don't know why. I think I just
Same.
expected Stan Lawson to, get some goals. He hasn't really been starting many games. I don't think he started a game this season. I think is he injured or something? He's on the bench again.
Yeah,
He was on the
he
bench.
was injured. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's back now,
Oh
but he
yeah,
was
he was
injured.
on the bench. He came on for half an hour, but he was injured before that. But I mean, I was talking about the Leeds. They lost a lot of players, like a lot of key players. They lost Cunha, who was probably their best player by far. They lost Ainuri again. He was one of their main creative outlets. And just looking at the pivot, I think that Andre just started this game. It was Gomez and Krajicki, and Krajicki actually got the first goal. I think they took the lead really early on.
Yep.
The defender, Agbadu, I think is a really good defender. I think he's the best defender by far. But the other two, Mosquero
Easy.
and Gomez, ain't really good. And then looking at the front line, I mean, I saw them start this player, Fer Lopez. He didn't get assist, but I had no clue who this guy was. So Wolves are spawning these
No idea.
random guys who I've never seen before. And then, I mean, also had the Belagordi and Orocodori striker up front. I mean, Wolves are in a mess, aren't they? Real big mess.
Yeah, it's looking really bleak for them. I look at their team and I'm like, who are these guys?
Exactly.
I don't know if they keep signing guys from Portugal or whatever, but I don't know what the manager is trying to do, or if they've got injuries and they're just coming back from injuries. But like a lot of it, like Bueno's not starting, Larson's not starting, Arias isn't starting, Andre. I don't know. Again, I don't know if they just come back from injury, so they can only play 20 or 30 minutes here and there. But I'm looking at their lineup and I'm like, that wouldn't look out of place in the championship. And you saying that now after last year, and I know obviously they've lost Cunha and Ait Nori, but it's just I don't know, man. It's baffling looking at their squad now and just looking how bad it looks.
Do you think they sack Vitor Pereira soon?
Funny enough, I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet about him signing a new contract. And again, I think it was one of the like a Wolves report. Again, I don't know if that is 100% happening or not. But I have a few Wolves mutuals, and I think he's in the midst of signing a new contract. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
So if they've promised that they're going to back him, that's another thing in January. But they're going to need to spend a fair bit in January.
Like I said, the pivot with Andre Gomez, I really like. I think that's a solid pivot to have. The wing backs, I don't think are the greatest, but I think Hugo Berno's okay. But looking at the forward line, though, I just don't see where the creativity is going to come from to feed Strand Lawson to score. Like last season, you had Ainuri there, you had Cunha there, and they were doing really well for him, picking up points where they maybe shouldn't have because they had these big players like Cunha's gone to United now and Ainuri's gone to Man City now. I just don't see Wolves staying up, man. Unless there's someone turns up for him. Like, let's say Stan Lawson goes mental, goes on like a Holland top run and scores 15, 20 goals in the league. That's probably the only chance. But Borda, I mean, the striker they got up front on Orokodori, I think they signed it from Genk. He was meant to be the Stan Lawson replacement, but Stan Lawson ended up
Yeah.
staying. And yeah, he started this game, was really great. Belagordi, I think, is okay. There's a player there, but I think he's got a lot of holes in his game. Yeah, man, I think Wolves are kind of screwed unless they change something drastically,
Yeah.
pull something out the highway. They could put a run together. But yeah, man, I would be really down if I was a Wolves fan. The next few games they've got Spurs away. Let's
God.
just write that one off. Then they've got Brighton at home. Then they've got Sunderland. The next three. I'd take a win out of that if I was a Wolves fan, but I just don't see him. I mean, after that they got Burnley at home. That's probably the game they're looking at. Okay, we can get a win here. Spurs is probably a write off. Brighton, maybe Brighton can concede goals on their day. Sunderland, that might be a draw. You never know. But I mean,
Hmm.
if I was a Wolves fan, I would not be happy right now. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the first 5 games of the league, 4-0 lost against Man City, a loss against Bournemouth, 3-2 loss against Everton, a 1-0 loss against Newcastle, and a 3-1 against Leeds. I mean, I was talking about before. I was like, okay, this is a 6-pointer. One of these teams, if they do win, the other one might be screwed. I mean, it's really early on, isn't it? It's 5 games in already, but I mean, you can see the signs already that Wolves are going to have a really good season. And I think it was easy to call before the start of the season. They didn't really sign anyone huge. They lost a lot of key players, and a team that does that, is going to be in a real relegation scrap.
Yeah. I think the problems that Wolves have been they've been there for the last few years, but I think the talent of players they've had have kind of papered over the cracks.
Oh yeah,
So it's
definitely.
like the last few managers have not been backed correctly. They've just not been backed basically, and they've lost managers because of it. Obviously, Nuno left, and the ex Real Madrid guy, a Spanish manager, left after like I think a few months, and it's just like they're just not backing their managers, and it's you lose two players who arguably could start for majority of the teams in the league, and to have two of those kind of players in your team, where realistically you're a bottom half team, is ridiculous. And I don't think maybe even Wolves would have thought like the massive impact that's going to have, as big as an impact as it did. So I think their owners and directors of football have got a lot of working out to do in January.
I mean, I remember the Wolves team not back in the day, like a few years ago. Moutinho, Neves midfield with Jimenez,
Dharma,
Jota up front, yeah, Traore on the wings with it'd be Ainuri or even Vinagre, and then the defense with Konakoti,
Kilman.
Boli, Kilman, and Repetition goal. That was a real solid team. I mean, they finished top half regularly, and that team's basically gone now. It's been 6 years since that team losing. I think Jimenez was a great striker in his prime. I think that head injury like really messed him up since then. Even with Fulham, he's
Yeah.
not really been the same player. But I mean, that team compared to what they've got right now has been like a massive, regression, and I don't see him, picking you up anytime soon. Maybe, like you said, in January, if they back rally, they could maybe stay up, but I just don't see it happening. I can see them in the championship easy next year. If I had to put money on,
I struggled to go on, sorry.
I was gonna say if I had to put money on a team going down right now, it definitely Wolves.
Yeah, I just struggle to look at their fixtures and being like, yep, that's a win. Like I can't. I struggle to say it. Like I would have said that probably about the Leeds game, but they just I don't know. It's really bad at the moment for them.
Yeah,
I don't know how they even turn it around.
yeah. I mean, I think we've spoken a lot about Wolves there. Let's move on to another team in the relegation zone with them. Well, Burnley got a draw against Angers Forest.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know watch this game at all, but I mean, I'm not surprised this ended in a draw. I think I expected it to be a draw. I mean, I don't think we are the biggest Ange fans in the
Oh,
world. I don't think he's a great manager. I think he's really stubborn and his philosophy isn't really the greatest. He lost midweek against Swansea in the cup, got knocked out, and then got a draw here. I think this is a game where Forest would have been looking like, okay, we could get 3 points here, and you know they weren't even really great in the game. I think both teams had like a similar number of shots, similar number of bigger chances. The XG was really similar again, and a draw was probably the fair result. And again, Nuno Forest, what he did with them, especially last season, was phenomenal. Morgan Gibbs White, Hudson Odoi, Chris Wood, all their players. I think they are even Elanga. They had a really good season. Their defense with Morello and Milinkovic. And this season, I just feel. I mean, I know there's been problems with the board, and of course, if a manager has a problem with the owner, it's not gonna really go right, and they basically had to let him go
yeah.
at the point. But I think this is gonna be like a really. I think the owner might regret it, to be honest, because I just don't see. I had Forest really high up. I know they lost um, Elanga, but I still had them. I think eighth or maybe even ninth. I think I had them,
Yeah.
and with Ange, I just don't see them finishing anywhere near there. I don't know about you, Lenny.
Yeah, I had them dropping off quite. I think I had them. I have my notes here of where I had them in the league. I had them. Well, I don't know if I can find it. 2 secs. I had them 11th because I just felt like, and this was, I don't think this wasn't when the window shut. It was a little bit before that, but
Yeah,
yeah, there's just
that's fair. Yeah.
the they got much better depth, so I just don't really rate Ange whatsoever. Like I think I'm one of the biggest quote unquote haters of
Yeah.
Ange. I just feel like he's so naive. I mean, how can you make a partnership of Van de Ven and Romero just make him look average for large parts of the
Yeah.
season, which is just crazy to me. Chris Wood, I mean, he hasn't looked great since he's took over. I'm not surprised. He's
He's
not
not
he's not a
unstruck,
typical
is it?
striker. Yep,
Yeah.
he
He's not.
lacks a guy that can press. I really wouldn't be surprised if we see Callum Wendo start up front at some point, maybe, because he seems like he would press more. So I just don't think it's a great fit. I think the players would have adored Nuno because no one's really had a bad word to say about Nuno. I mean, the support when he left Wolves of what he done with Wolves and the players adored him. He went to Forest, done an incredible job, and obviously the only reason he's left is simply because of his relationship with Marinakis. And again, when that was as soon as he come out and said that I haven't spoke to him this season, you knew it was over. I mean, even the signings, it seemed like that a lot of them weren't Nuno signings. Maybe he didn't sign off on them because if you're not speaking to your owner, I mean, and apparently he didn't have the best of relationships with the Arsenal director of football that they signed. I
Oh
can't think of his
yeah,
name. But no, what's his name? I don't know. The Brazilian director of football. I can't think
oh
of his
yeah,
name, but yeah, he apparently they didn't have the best of relationships either. So again, it was always destined to fail. But Forest, I think they'll be just 12th, anywhere between maybe like 12th to 14th, maybe the highest is 10th, but especially if they've got Europe this season too. Like, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, for Burnley, I think it was a great point. I think what they need the bottom right now. I think 16th, but again, a win and a draw, 3 losses in the first half. It's not the worst for Burnley. I'd probably be okay with that as a Burnley fan. But yeah, man, I think Burnley's next fixture is they got Etihad next, so I mean that's a write off completely.
Yeah,
After that, they've got Aston
they've
Villa.
got they've got 3 winnable games.
Yeah, they've got Wolves. Yeah, you're right. Wolves, Leeds, and Aston Villa. Where I'll be looking there. If we can get 4 points out of them 3 games, I'd be happy with that.
100%. Especially with Villa, with the way Villa's going on. We'll talk about
Oh yeah,
them. You never again, it's away, so it's a bit tough. But I've been really impressed with that Anthony.
oh
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
he
Great.
was I thought he was pretty damn good against us. I know obviously he gave away the penalty in the last minute, which is a bit. I thought against Liverpool he was quite frustrating. He was very good on the ball, and then that final action, his final ball was lacking. But again, he scored again this week. I think it was given an own goal at first, but I'm pretty sure it was going on target anyway, and that's why it was given back to him because I think it was given a Zinchenko own goal at first. But again, I believe it was going in. So yeah, I mean Lau Foster as well. He was in the Prem with Burnley the last time they were in the Prem in
Yeah,
23-24, and he scored a few goals here and there. So yeah, I still think they go down, but
yeah, same.
yeah, I do think they
Moving on
lack
to
goals still.
Brighton Spurs, which was a really entertaining game. 2-2 here. I
That was a
mean,
great game.
yeah, I've said this about Brighton. Against the top teams, they just turn up, man. I don't know if that's the way they play, if they're more suited to playing against big teams, but this season, just looking at the games they've played, uh, so they drew to Spurs, they lost against Bournemouth, they beat Man City, they lost against Everton, and they drew against
Drew
Fulham.
against
So
Fulham.
again, not the greatest starts, but the points have come against City and Spurs, and they're against Fulham the opening day. I mean, it's what I expect from Brighton, right? Being around mid-table, getting
Yeah,
points here, but losing some stupid games here and there. I wasn't surprised with anything here. I think Brighton got a real, decent squad. Yeah, I think Rutter's okay. I think Mitoma, Minte, and Grude, that's a really good attacking options. Again, Baleba and Ayari pivot, I think is really good on the defense. Again, in the worst, in the best, but I mean, it's good enough to be around mid-table. So no problems with Brighton. I was, again, really impressed with them. Spurs, though, I mean, I didn't watch the full game, but again, on the highlights, I thought Kudus had a really solid game. Again, he got another assist this game. Richarlison is scoring a lot of goals for Spurs, and I wasn't really expecting that at the start of the season. But I mean, I think he started the season off quite well, if we're being honest. I
yep.
mean, Solanke is injured or is he back?
Yeah, no, he's still injured. I'm pretty sure he's out for. I think it's another month, to be honest. I
I
think
was
he's still out
surprised.
for a little bit.
I was surprised they benched Xavi this game. Really surprised they
Yeah,
benched Xavi.
I am too, and it's quite funny actually because again, Frank Spurs fans have been quite not happy with Frank's a lot of his lineups, but I think that's fair enough. I think it's a bit harsh on Xavi to not get a start in this game. And it's also funny because I thought when he played against it was West Ham last week, right?
Yeah,
No, it was Brighton. Yeah, it was West Ham last
West
week,
Ham. Yeah,
and I don't think he was that great. But again, I don't think he's a left winger, and I feel like especially if you're gonna play someone like Xavi Simons at left wing, you need an overlapping left back so that he can like cut in. And with when Spence plays, he just isn't that type of fullback. So this week, I thought, okay, he'll start Xavi on the left and then maybe Udogi, but obviously he starts Odebear. And yeah, I mean, I do think Frank is. I'm a massive Frank fan, but I do think again, I know he's only a few weeks, 4, 5, 6, 7 games into the job. I think he's maybe tweaking the team a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think his 4-3-3 is his best system. And I think when we've seen his 4-3-3 with a flat midfielders that are either sixes or eights, we don't see the best of Spurs, especially in games where they're expected to dominate possession. I think in games against teams like a City, an Arsenal, a Liverpool, and in the Champions League, I think that's okay to play the 3-6s and the 3-8s or the 3-8s and then just counter attack and stuff. But I think in these games where you're expected to get a win and dominate possession, I think you can drop one of Bentancur or Bergval, drop Xavi Simons into the midfield, and then start an actual left wing or at left wing. But again,
Yeah, you're
I'm
right. I
sure he
mean,
will do that soon.
I think Eze would have suited him much better. I mean, I think Xavi's a great player. I think he's going to do great things for Spurs. But Eze is the kind of player associated with the Thomas Frank side. I don't know why, but he just seems that he's like. I think again, him or Morgan Gibbs White would have been great for him. I feel like, of course, them both didn't go their way, so they had to go for Xavi. I think he was the last in that list, but either of them two would have been great for him as well. But I mean, I've no doubt over Xavi's ability. I think he's a great player and he's going to do great things for Spurs. So, I mean, they came back from 2 goals behind, so if I was Spurs fan, I'd take it at the end of the day. Brighton, again, isn't the easiest game for them. But the next few fixtures, Wolves, Leeds, and Villa, that's 3 games. I mean, okay, we can get 9 out of 9 points here, but I mean, you never know with Spurs. So
Yeah,
we'll see about that.
I put Vicario into my FPL, and of course, he. I wouldn't say he made 2 mistakes for the goal. I mean, the second one was definitely a mistake. He should be parrying that away. I don't know
Oh,
how
yeah,
he
yeah.
parries that into the back of his own net. And then the first goal is quite baffling because okay, it's a high line, they get caught out, and like Romero's like not too far away, and then he slows down for a weird. He slows down as Minte is about to shoot, and then Vicario comes out and just completely just gets just walked past that. Yeah, it was very poor from both of them to be honest. Because I feel like if the keeper come out, but didn't come out too much, and Romero closed the angle down, I think the angle would have been too tight for Minte to get a shot off. But they didn't. So, but yeah, Brighton are just Brighton. They're weird like that.
Exactly.
They'll
Yeah.
have games. Belabor though, especially with the manager, what he said after about how pretty much his head has been turned.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's not that good for
He's
them.
gone,
So
man. He's gone next summer. Or
I
even
think he could
January.
go in
I wouldn't be
January.
surprised.
I
Yeah, I wouldn't be
think
surprised.
because he's really not been good, and I feel like Brighton are the type of team to be like, well, we know what we can do. We can get another
Oh, yeah.
another one of you in the next year. Like we
They're
we have
going on
signed centre
records.
mids
Yeah.
like no tomorrow. So I feel like I think 100% if Maynard come in January with a bid, I think he could definitely leave,
Oh, yeah.
depending on how much it
Definitely.
is going to be. But
But yeah, man, that was a really entertaining game. The last game on Saturday, late kickoff between Fulham and Brentford. Fulham 3-1. I mean, is another team again. I never expect them to do really well, but I never expect them to be near the relegation battle. They just like a
yeah,
crystal palace of me for the last 3 seasons. They're gonna end around 10th to 14th, around that, be pretty much safe. And again, I think this was a really good performance from Fulham. I think Wilson, Iwobi had a really good game. They went down real early, I think, but after that, I think they picked up and they won this game rightfully. So yeah, man, if I was a Fulham fan again, I'd be happy. I think they've had a really good start to the season again. 2 draws to start off, and then they did lose to Chelsea, which again really unlucky if that wasn't the case. But beat Leeds, beat Brentford, it's looking good for them. I mean, they've got again a real winnable fixture next against Aston Villa, who haven't looked the greatest. So I mean, Villa, Bournemouth, and Arsenal. If they go get 4 points out of that, I'll be happy with that.
yeah. I think Fulham are really good. I think Marco Silva's. I think I said this last year. Him and Thomas Frank are the two most underrated managers in the league. I think now Marco Silva is the most underrated. I think if you look at his squads, they're not excellent, but I think he just gets the best out of every single player. Every single player gets the best out of, and I feel like with Fulham they've not got one player where you're like, oh yeah, like a lot of these mid-table teams would have a player that would get into a top four team, top five team. They have that one guy.
Oh yeah,
Fulham don't, but when you look at their bench, they've just got really solid players everywhere. Like off the bench, they had their new signing Kevin, who I've seen highlights. He looks quite good. Smith Rowe's a good player. Jimenez is not a bad backup striker. They've got Tom Kearney, who's their ex-captain and not a bad player whatsoever.
I
Timothy
don't know the
Castagne from
bench.
Leicester,
Yeah,
Adama, and they've got that
too
Chuckle
easy.
Wizzy from Milan,
Yeah,
ex-Villarreal player. So they've got really good depth, and they're just a really solid team. And Silva he's just a really solid manager. Like he's really good.
yeah.
So I think they'll finish again mid-table, anywhere between probably 10th and 12th, 13th, 14th. But yeah, I've been really impressed with Fulham so far this season.
Brentford, on the other hand, I mean, it wasn't a really great performance from them, was it? The defense, I think, all had stinkers, to be honest. Kelleher, I don't think, was great. Pinnock, again, got on goal. Collins, I don't know, I've seen people harp on Collins, he could go to top six, but I just don't see it. I just don't think he's as good as people think he is. And again, Vandenberg from Liverpool, again, not really a good defender, but probably do a job for Brentford. Not really been impressed. I think they've won one, drawn one, and lost three, which I can't expect today. You lost Mbeumo, Wissa, and Frank, and no God. Those are like four massive. You take them out of any team, mid-table team, and they're going to struggle. I think Shikora is a good player. He'll do okay things for them. Damsgaard is a player I rate. I think he's one of the most underrated tens in the whole league. But again, Brentford is going to be another team around the relegation zone. Not as much as I'd say West Ham or the Wolves, because I can see Brentford winning some games, but I still see them being around 15th or 16th.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think to lose the players they have and the manager, and then to bring in a manager who was the set piece coach, I think is very risky. I think I think they'll stay up this season just about
Yeah.
maybe 16th, 17th, 16th, 15th, like you said. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually quite a big Nathan Collins fan. I thought he was excellent at Burnley, and again, his career so far at Brentford has been pretty decent. But again, if you're not scoring as many goals, the defense is going to get you're going to get attacked more pretty much. I think Damsgaard is a big part of this team, and I think he's probably the next one to leave, sadly for them. But yeah, I just feel like they're trying to replicate kind of the system from last year, but tweaking it a little bit with the extra centre mid in there and then two up top, and it's not exactly working, but. It's yeah that they need to reinvest in January. I know they signed the Bournemouth winger, and I think he scored on his debut, and he's not
Danko,
looked
yeah.
bad. He's not looked bad so far. I think ideally you want him to start a few more games, and I think that will come. So yeah, I think they'll stay up, but it's not gonna be a good season for Brentford whatsoever.
Trying to recreate Mbeumo with Chicardi and Thiago. I mean, it's not the best of ideas, is it? Especially with
Yeah, it's
the
just
talent of Mbeumo with what they scored. They must have been contributing about 70% of all of maybe more than that, because I think Wissa got 19 goals in the league, and Mbeumo was on fire for pretty much the whole season. They were like a massive part, and of
yeah, I
course
would
Thomas
say
Frank was
8%.
insane for him, and even Norgard, I think he was a key cog in the midfield, and losing all them is of course going to take a massive hit. But yeah, I think they'll probably survive just about, but I mean, we'll see. Moving on to the Sunday games. The first one we had, both at the same time. Sunderland against Aston Villa. This is a game where I was like, okay, Aston Villa could get something after the red card, and they conceded again. That goal they scored was a really lucky goal. The keeper, I don't know
Yeah,
what they. I mean, we were singing praises of Sunderland's keeper last week
yeah,
of how great he was, and this
yeah,
season he just does that. I mean, after that, I was like, okay, they've got a red card now, down to 10 men. Maybe Aston Villa can grant this victory out, but no, they had to concede. And I mean, that's the first goal scored this season. Where are they in the league right now? 18th, no wins. I think them and Wolves are the only team with no wins so far. 3 draws and 2 losses. Again,
yeah.
not looking good for Villa, man.
It really isn't. I think Emery is running out of ideas. I think. I mean, there is no way that a team that finished fourth, 2 years ago, who should have finished fourth the season just gone, but obviously Emmy Martinez had other ideas. There's just no way that you should be starting Emmy Buendia. I know he was a fantastic championship player for Norwich, and they paid a lot of money for him in I think 2021, it just hasn't worked out. He's had loans, I think at Leverkusen, and I know he was linked with a loan to Leeds, but again, he shouldn't be a player that should be starting for you, especially as a team that you have aspirations of getting top five, top six, fourth. And I just feel like they signed Gwesand, who hasn't really hit the ground running. Again, could be a good player. I don't know too much about him whatsoever. Watkins physically looks just absolutely shot. I don't know what's happened with Watkins. Rogers, again, he's a young player, and as good as he was last season, I think young players have dips, and I think this is the dip he has. I wouldn't be shocked if in a year and a half's time we're talking about just how good he is again. I think young players have dips. I mean, I think it's just pretty normal, to be honest, especially when the team you're in isn't performing. I think it's easy to fall
Oh yeah.
down the slope of playing pretty poor. And maybe he wanted a move in the summer and didn't get it. Maybe that's been a factor. I'm not too sure. I know there was links with Chelsea and stuff,
I
but
seen a clip. I seen a clip of him where he was. I don't know if he meant it, but he just said, "Okay, I want to keep this number when I move to another club." He said that in
oh
an
god,
interview. I've seen it, so it looks like he's off, man. I'll be honest. I could see him. I
I wouldn't
mean,
be shocked.
Liverpool have been linked with him, but I just don't see us getting him now, especially with our attack. I could see him going Chelsea. Definitely, Chelsea's the top of club to Sani, but I think he's definitely off, man. And yeah,
And
like I
if
said last year,
Bruno leaves, goes Saudi, you never know, it could happen. But
yeah, he
yeah.
could. Who knows? But man, again for Sunderland, a great point, man. With 10 men especially scoring against Villa. Their start of the season, I think, if I was a Sunderland fan, they think seventh right now with 2 wins, 2 draws,
I'd
and just
I'd be loving life.
a loss, bro. I think they're gonna. And I don't think it's too early to say they're probably gonna stay up. Just the way they played, I think it's been really
Yeah,
encouraging,
I think
especially at
so.
home. Yeah, man. If I was a Sunderland fan, I'd be
I've
really happy.
been I've been somewhat proven wrong so far.
Same, yeah, me
I
too.
because every year, especially online, there's always a newly promoted team that spends 100 million and everyone loses their shit. Everyone's like, oh my god, they're staying up, and every single year they go down. And I think the only teams that haven't was Forest when they spent like a hundred. They bought like 20 something new players,
Oh yeah,
and then obviously currently at the moment Sunderland, and I think they will stay up now after saying at the beginning of the season I think they would go down. I think I would replace them with Wolves. The big challenge is AFCON. I think AFCON is going
oh
to
yeah.
be really big for them. Well, really big in terms of losing players, and depending on how they can deal with that, then I think determines if they stay up. But yeah, the red card today, I don't know what Ronaldo is doing. I mean, he just kicks him. I don't know what he's doing.
He started the season
And
well, so it was like
yeah.
really surprising. The
And he
next three
misses.
fixtures, they've got Forest, United, and Wolves. So, I mean, 2 wins out of the three will be splendid. But I mean, even
Amazing. Yeah.
4 points out of them three fixtures will be really good, man. But
I,
yeah,
I
what
I
we
think
gonna
they
do?
get 4 points. I think they get a draw away to Forest. I do think United beat them.
Yep. And
I
then
hope.
Wolves, I think they beat
And
Wolves.
then at home against Wolves, I think at home a bit like Luton, where at home they haven't lost this season at home in the Prem. They beat West Ham 3-0.
Beat
They
Brentford.
beat Brentford 2-1, and they've drawn today. So I think at home they need to keep going at home, and I think they will. I think their fan base is, I mean, so loud. Like they were losing today at 1-0, and they were just it was rocking, to be
Yeah.
honest. And then when they scored as well,
Yeah.
but
I mean, we even said it.
really
We were like,
impressive.
they're gonna have to make their home stadium like a fortress. Literally every game, if a team comes, you're gonna have to, really make them dig in, make it proper cagey, and they've already done that. And it's showing with the start of the season, they're saying seventh in the league, which again, as a Sunderland fan, I'll be really happy with them. So I mean, good stuff from them. The last game we've got to cover. I mean, I didn't watch this game. I was watching the Villa Sunderland game. Bournemouth Newcastle. It ended 0-0. I mean, I was happy because Livermento got more clean sheet points. I mean, I was kind of skeptic because I was okay. They might lose this game, but I mean, it was a little bit. I think Newcastle will probably be the happy out of the two. I think Bournemouth. So looking at the stats, it didn't really look like there was much in it. Bournemouth probably had a few more attempts, but again, as a Newcastle fan, I'd be happy with the draw. Bournemouth again saying fourth, 3 wins, a draw and a loss. that draw coming against Newcastle today and the loss against Liverpool, 3 wins,
Yeah.
staying fourth. I'll be happy with that, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
we've said it, we think his Bournemouth manager is phenomenal. I think he's a great manager, and I kind of want him to stay at Bournemouth for the next few seasons, but I could definitely see him. If one big club sacks their manager, I could definitely see that club wanting the manager. But again, Arola, I think, is a phenomenal manager. The next few fixtures is where I could see them putting a run together. They've got Leeds, Fulham, Palace, and Forest. 2 wins out of the four. Three would be great, but 2 wins I could definitely see out of the four. Again, I think people are talking about Bournemouth losing so many players and being, completely losing their identity. But I said it. Bournemouth are one of the best recruitment systems in England. So I could easily see them. I mean, we've seen it with this whole Kirkis and the San Truffert, who I think is, again, a really good left back. And then again, their centre backs, Sensei and Dikati,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
both
Keto. Yeah.
they both have been really good for them. And again, they kept a clean sheet this game. The attack with Semenyo, Tavernier, Brooks, and Evan Nilsson is a really good attack. And again, the pivot with sometimes it's Adams, Scott as well. I think, both of them are really phenomenal. So as a Bournemouth fan, really good start to the season, and I think they'll keep it going.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I watched majority of this game because I thought, I mean, it's two of my favorite managers in the league. I think again, I would love to have either man at my club. But yeah, it was a bit dire. I think yeah, it was just a bit boring to be honest. I thought Dan Burn was excellent today. I thought he was really, really good. And so was Tior. Arguably could have been sent off, but only got yellow. But yeah, nothing much to talk about really with this game. I
So,
think
did you watch this game?
majority of it, like I think
How
80,
was
I
the
think
how was Walter Monday?
again, I thought he was pretty good. I thought he held up the ball pretty well. I think in this game he held up the ball pretty well. However, he lost the ball a lot of times. But
Yeah,
I feel like he got fouled at least like 5, 6 times. But again, because he's a big guy, the referee just kind of waves it off. Like
yeah,
there were so many times he would back up against Sensi or Diakite, and they would just kick through him. There was one quite late on, right on the edge of the box, and I'm pretty sure it was Diakite just kicked completely through, like kicked his Achilles, and obviously the ball went back to a Bournemouth
yeah.
player, and the ref didn't give it. I'm like, I know he's 6'6", 6'7", but like, if they're fouls, they're fouls. But yeah, I mean, a good point for both teams. Obviously, Newcastle away, they played in midweek, but yeah, I mean, I'm just a massive fan of Areola, to be honest. I mean, you look at their attack, and it's like it is pretty good. I mean, Evan Nilsson and Semenyo are great, but you look at Tavernier and Brooks, and respectfully, they wouldn't look really out of place in the Championship. They wouldn't be like top tier must buy as a Prem team. So I feel like he just does an excellent job with the players he has. I mean, I don't think he has a uber talented squad, but
Oh
he
yeah,
just again, he's another manager like Marco Silva that just gets the absolute best out of the players he has. Doesn't complain, doesn't moan. Obviously, Semenyo, obviously one of the best players in the league so far this season. And yeah, I mean they're doing great. Next 3 games, like you said, very very winnable.
I mean, Newcastle are missing key players like Wissa and Gordon were playing this game. So, I mean, I think it was Willock, Murphy, and Walter Monday, the front three, which again isn't really the most inspiring, but having Gordon and Wissa back is going to boost the squad.
Jacob Ramsey too,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I think
Ramsey.
I
I
think
mean,
Fabian Schär was out as well. So
Ramsey
quite
is
quite a
quite
few big
injured. I mean,
injuries.
I rate Ramsey, but Avila, he was really injured before and, already picking up injuries. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
all the fixtures covered. We're going to do the team of the week now and then wrap you up. We've been going for a long time, man. It has felt like it's been 1.5 hours.
this has gone pretty quick.
Yeah, let me pull the graphic. Okay. Who are we putting in goal?
In
I mean, I think
goal.
Dubravka. You mean like 7 saves? Really
I
good.
mean, yeah, yeah,
I don't see any other standout keeper, to be honest.
yeah. Neither really, to be honest.
I mean, I think Dubravka has been really good for Burnley this season so far. We haven't really spoken about him, but if Burnley are going to stay up, he's going to have to make a lot of saves.
I mean, I've got my bench in FPL, and consistently he gets like
4 points
four
in it.
points every
Yeah,
week. So like it
he's
it,
on my
it
bench as
seems
well.
like he makes a lot of saves. So
Yeah.
that's all I can really base it off.
Centre backs. I'm going to put. Would you put anyone from the Bournemouth and Newcastle game? Because I really, really watched that.
Um, I would like to put the Ligt in there. just for a United player. I think De Ligt was excellent against Chelsea. I think he was one of our standout players, and yeah, I think we haven't had a player in the team of the week so far. So when we win, I'd hopefully to get one in. But I'm trying to think of another centre back.
Was Botman good? Senesi good?
I thought I thought Dan Burn was actually really good. He was like a standout for me.
Fair enough,
Dan
yeah.
Burn, yeah, left centre back played pretty well.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. Mitchell, I think, left back, got the winner against West Ham.
Yeah, I
Overall,
mean
just a
with
good performance.
that goal as well, that volley, my God,
Right
I think
back.
he's got to go in.
I've got Nico Williams here. I don't know if you enjoyed the right back.
I don't think so, to be honest. It wasn't a lot of big standout players this week. But yeah, I think that's fine. Having him in there.
Yep. I mean, there's one midfield I'm definitely playing in.
Gravenberch.
Birch.
Yeah, he does it. He 100% deserves to be in there. I would go Gravenberch and Stack for sure from Leeds.
Yep.
Stack for sure. And then the third guy.
Is there a case for Bruno there? Maybe.
I mean, yeah, I thought Bruno had a pretty good game. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I'm trying to think of other midfielders that had good games, to be honest. But yeah, I wouldn't be super against Bruno, to be honest.
Put Bruno there. Up front now. I'm putting Ekitike there. I thought again for the time he was there, he was really good. I can't think of any
Yeah,
other striker
I'll
who
say a Wobie on the left.
he will be on the left. Yeah, again he was
Yeah, I'll say a
one of the best
Wobie on the
players for
left.
Fulham. On the right now.
Ekitike. Not being blessed
I mean,
with
the other
loads of
Fulham
goals this
winger,
week every game.
Harry Wilson had a good game.
I mean, yeah, Wilson too. Wilson was great.
Bob
So it could be
Wilson.
Wilson.
Who else gonna put there? Trying to think of any good performers for. I can't really think of any other right wingers to be honest.
Me neither, to be honest. Maybe Minty, maybe. That's about it, really. Minty or
Minty. I mean,
Harry
we've
Wilson,
already
really.
got Bobby there. Let's put Minty there. Then, might as well.
Yeah.
Yes, the team of the week for this week. Manager of the week. Who do you think had the best week this week?
Best manager.
I mean, I'm gonna give it to Leeds manager to be honest. Daniel Falk. I thought.
Yeah.
Gained 3 points.
It's a 6-pointer too. Like it's a massive away from home. Massive game.
Yep, I'll give him goal of the week though. I mean, Gravenberch is gonna be up there. Can't think of any other.
It's Mitchell or Gravenberch.
I mean, I haven't seen Mitchell's goal. Was it a good goal?
It was whipped. It was the middle of the pitch. Wharton whips it in and like he like hits it on the volley. It was a great goal.
Yes, it's either Gravenberch or Mitchell.
I would go with Gravenberch just because I think the pass is unbelievable and it was in a derby.
Yeah, the way he had to dip that over the keeper was
it was just a crazy finish.
Flop of the week.
Robert Sanchez.
Oh yeah, he has to be 5 minutes getting sent off.
Robert Sanchez.
Yeah, that's probably
sent off in the first 5 minutes
all season. Yeah, but that's the team of the week. But yeah, man, we went 1 hour 33 minutes, really long. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Just remember to keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep sharing. We'll see you next time.